Welcome to another episode of Explicitly Unbiased. Week 7 Sunday slate of games is officially in the books, and we got our instant reaction. So, Caleb, hit that intro.
What's going on, friends? Welcome back to another episode of Explicitly Unbiased. I'm Kaleb. He's Gerardo. And Sunday is all wrapped up for week 7 of NFL football. In this portion of the program, we are just going to be talking all the games that happened Thursday and Sunday. Starting with the Thursday night football game, we're going to go right down the list, give our instant thoughts and reactions. We appreciate you watching the full show, but if you want to just find whichever team you want to pull for, there's a video for it. Find the juicy thumbnail, find the juicy title, the nice bio, and you can just pick it out. But if you want to stay for the full thing, we are more than welcome to have you. Gerardo, how are you on this fine Sunday?
If I was any better, I'll be Joe Flacco.
Seriously, let's just start there. Thursday night football. Pittsburgh Steelers. The Unk Bowl, the Icy Hot Bowl. The Steelers head to Cincinnati to play the Bengals and newly acquired quarterback Joe Flacco. And the Bengals take it in a crazy football game, to say the least. 33-31. Joe Flacco, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Jalen Warren, 127 yards on 16 carries. Chase Brown, 11 carries for 108 yards. Jamar Chase, 16 catches, 161 yards, and a touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, 5, 111, and 2. C. Higgins also getting involved in the action. Noah Fant getting involved in the action. 4 tight ends. 1?
Mm-hmm. I believe
2,
almost every tight end on
4
the
tight
roster.
ends. 4 tight ends scored. How about that? Yeah, Gerardo. Well, where do you want to start with this one? 33-31, Bengals win.
The thing that I want to start off with this is, why in the world did the Steelers get rid of George Pickens? DK has been a little bit inconsistent this year for me for that Steelers offense. And then now they're looking for a strong number 2. And from this, I'm like, man, I feel like Aaron Rodgers with George Pickens would be pretty sick.
The Steelers are already reportedly in the market for another receiver.
Which is like, dude, did y'all not know y'all had one? Like, what did they really think with Pickens? And I mean, I just think that tandem would have been pretty sick. I just don't understand why they got rid of him as fast as they did, because I feel like he would really be a go-to guy, and he's emerging as a top 5 wide receiver already in this league this year alone with Dak Prescott. And I just think the inconsistencies of their playmakers at wide receiver is the big detriment, I think, why the Steelers are not favored in that division. I mean, hell, remember FanDuel? We were going over that FanDuel at ESPN and DraftKings had the Ravens still winning that division, even with that slow start that they're at right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what they're looking like now. Futures, division winners. AFC North, they have the Pittsburgh Steelers favored plus 125, Ravens plus 140, Bengals plus 425, and the Cleveland Browns plus 3,000.
But the fact that the Ravens, even starting off as bad as they did, they are still convinced that that's barely 20 some odd point differential from being the favorite to win the division. And
15.
This game, I really thought that this would be a Steelers them pulling away and ahead of you got a divisional win. You are beaten up on your division being really bad. I mean, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Ravens are having unbelievably bad starts to their year, and you need to take advantage of it, because this is probably Aaron Rodgers' last good season as a starting quarterback level player. And the fashion that they lost, I was just like, dude, if you just had George Pickens, I feel like there would have been no conversation of Joe Flacco unbelievably went back in time. Not even go back in time, because I don't even remember him being this good even back then with the Ravens. And
maybe in his prime in the playoffs.
Right. But Dude, he was sick. 340 yards. Get out of
3
here.
touchdowns.
At his age is sick.
Remember, did you see that read option play that he just baited the entire Steelers defense?
Like, playing out of his mind. I mean, commend the Bengals for like addressing like, okay, Jake Browning isn't going to be the dude that's going to give us. We just need to get the 600, which is what I said for the Bengals. All they need to do is get the 600 when Joe Burrow gets back, and I feel like you are making a run as a wild card
500?
team. Yeah, getting to 500. Yeah, and then you just get into that range, and then
keep the boat afloat, and then you give yourself a chance when Burrow comes back.
Mm-hmm. And then the fact that it's an in-division trade, which is not
Mike
heard of.
Tomlin knew what was coming.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that too, right, was just also the fact that where was this Joe Flacco with the Browns?
Well, everything goes to die in Cleveland.
Yep, and then also the Browns just don't have 2 top 10 receivers on their team neither.
Like yeah, maybe one top 25.
Yeah, maybe.
On a good day.
Like I think good for Joe Burrow and Joe Flacco. I mean, Joe Burrow seeing this is like, okay, like you could keeping these wheels turning to make sure that we have a shot. Because once he gets back, I have no doubt that the Bengals can actually probably get one on some teams. You know,
are you concerned with Pittsburgh?
Oh yeah, dude. The fact that your defense, I mean, their pass defense is unbelievably suspect. Like their back seven is not good at all. Jalen Ramsey, outside of week 1, has looked like a bum. They're missing Michael Fitzpatrick probably more than ever. And their passers, I mean, like TJ Watt can only do so much. I mean, their other guy was it number 56 that they have for them? Like, is it Hightower, Highsmith?
Alex Highsmith?
Like, it's a no-show, right? And then, I mean, like Cameron Hayward is here and there, but like their linebacking core isn't all that good. Their DBs aren't that good. I mean, when you're giving up 340 yards to Joe Flacco, bro,
and 16 catches for 161 yards for Jamar Chase, I mean, you just can't have that. Like, and I get he's a top 3 receiver, maybe the best receiver in the league if you ask some people. But 16 catches, 161 yards, too much.
Oh yeah, like even if you had an above average, like defensive backfield, like I'm okay with you giving up 80 to 100 yards. Well, you're talking about 160? This dude's having a career year against you. Like, there was nothing stopping him that game. And mind you, they've also drafted, like, remember, what is it? Joey Porter Jr. Like, he has been a complete bum for them, too. Like, it's their biggest concern is a wide receiver that they traded away that they wish he could get back. And also a DB they traded away that they wish they got back for, what's it, Jonnu Smith? Like,
oh, Minkah Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Minkah Fitzpatrick, and what was it? Oh yeah, because they got Jalen.
They get Ramsey. Yeah,
yeah, but I think Minkah Fitz. I think that was a loss on both ends. I think I mean, the Dolphins aren't looking too good, but I think that ultimately, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're looking for a number 2, and you're looking for significant back 7 help to be legitimate contenders.
Yeah, and listen, The Athletic reported this week that they don't expect a flashy deadline for anybody because a lot of guys have holes, but not a lot of teams are willing to give up good players. So
yeah, which isn't surprising because I think the Eagles completely shut down AJ Brown trades of all kind.
Yep. But all right, let's go to this morning where the Rams played the Jaguars out in London. As I back to get to this game, the Rams win 35-7. Matthew Stafford had 5 touchdowns, only 182 yards, believe it or not. Trevor Lawrence, 296 yards and a touchdown. Really poor QBR and passer rating. Mm-hmm. Travis Etienne, 8 carries, 44 yards. Travis Hunter finally had a game, 8 catches, 101 yards and a touchdown. Kyron Williams, kind of ho-hum on the ground. Devontae Adams, 3 touchdowns on 5 catches. Feels like a sloppy game.
It wasn't like it was a sloppy game. I just think it was mostly like super defensive. The Rams were getting they're getting 3 and out a lot more than you think. It's just the Jags were just not capitalizing. They were going on 4th down for a lot of times, and Cam Little has a nice leg. And during that broadcast, Kurt Warner had brought up was like, dude, if you would have just kicked all these points, you would have been down, I think at that time, 9 to 21, which is a very good game still. And instead of you're going for on 4th down and you're not converting any of these and you're not getting any touchdowns. So, because if you look at it, you got 9 points, and then let's say I believe it was 9 to 21. Then you get the Travis Hunter touchdown. Okay, so now it's a game where the Rams are just meticulous, and you're taking advantage of a defense that's always on the field. And credit to where credit's due. I think the Jaguars defense really stepped up. I mean, if you see the stat lines, right, they gave up the points, but they didn't give up the yards. And they were just stepping up really good. I do like their 2 linebackers they have there for the Rams. Devin Lloyd and number 23 for them are really, really good players. Brian Thomas Jr., I low-key thinks he is a quitter. He is just non-existent this year. He has just not been good. He's not showing what he had as a rookie. But then again, a lot of the times, if you look back at the advanced stats, he was only good when Mac Jones was a quarterback. He was not good since Trevor Lawrence has been a quarterback. And the big notable thing from this, Travis Hunter had no defensive snaps this game. 0. All offense. And funny enough, this is technically the Uno reverse card of my prediction for him. I think this is going to be his best offensive stat season, and then they're just going to be like, hey, you're playing DB the rest of your career.
It still could be his best offensive season.
That's true, right? But seeing they're force feeding him a lot. They really are. If you're on any type of those fantasy gambling stuff, always take the over on receptions for Travis Hunter, because they are literally giving him the ball as much as they could.
Point, yep.
And I don't like that. I don't like that too, because you're trying to justify that pick, right? You're trying to say that I traded for an elite wide receiver and elite DB at the number 2 overall pick. You can't have both. You got to pick one or the other. And I think he's going to be elite, closer to DB than he is wide receiver. I think he could be a Pro Bowl wide receiver. You saw that today. But the big takeaway was I think the Jaguars were just gambling way too much, man. They're like me every Sunday. They were just blowing $100 just to blow $100. They were not being smart. If they would have just kicked those field goals and made it a game, I think their defense would have played a lot better. They would have been a lot smarter and converted a lot more. And ultimately, Brian Thomas hasn't showed up, but at least they got Travis Hunter, and he didn't take any defensive snaps. But there's still their division sucks. So the Jaguars really don't have nothing to worry about. They could get themselves into a wild card bid.
Yeah, I think the division thing that I was talking about last week is kind of over with just how dominant the Colts have been.
Oh my God, yeah. Wait till we get to that game. But even so, if you looked at this game in comparison to the Texans, right? Because apples to apples, Texans who play the Rams and Jaguars who play the Rams, I'm a little bit more hopeful for the for the Jaguars than I am the Texans. The Jaguars, I just think okay, stop trying to be brave on 4th down and just convert points. And I have no issue with this offense. Plus, with Travis Etienne, you do have pieces. We're the Texans. I'm just bro, I don't care who you have at wide receiver or running back or offensive line. This offense is inept. And good for the Rams. They're just stacking up wins. I mean, that division is super tough. The Texans, funny enough, they play the Seahawks come Monday night. And I think the NFC West is probably one of, if not the toughest division right now in football, outside of the Cardinals. But I think the Jags, they just should have been smarter. They did not capitalize on. They just try to gamble just to gamble. They were not.
Liam Cohen's an idiot? No way.
Idiot. I just think he was just trying to seem smarter than he is.
In other words.
Yes.
All right. New Orleans headed up to Soldier Field to take on the Bears, and the Bears come out successful, 26-14. Bears go up to 5-2. Saints drop to 1-6. Spencer Rattler 3 picks, 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams no touchdowns, 172 yards, and a pick. DeAndre Swift had a game, 19 carries, 124 yards, and a score. Kyle Monajai,
running back.
81 yards in its score. Kamara and did nothing. Chris Olave had 2 scores and 98 yards. Not a bad day for him. If you had the Saints winning this one, I don't know what to tell you.
The thing is about this, like, Spencer Rattler isn't a bad quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, he has talent enough. I mean, the Saints are just a walking, like, he has a no-win situation this year in the sense of, I mean, also it's kind of surprising that Tyler Snow or whatever his name is,
Shuck,
like, has yet to see the field this year. Mind you, I think outside, I do not know how well, completion percentage wise that Spencer Rattler did this game, but I think to start off the year, he's been 65% almost every game.
Ooh, Spencer Rattler 20 for 32. That's a little under 60 maybe.
Okay.
And 62%.
Okay, so this was his first game in the last 5 games. I believe he has thrown for under 65%.
That is true.
And which is actually, remember, like, guys,
his QBRs are terrible.
It is
when he plays good defenses. When he plays like the Patriots, who have a very overrated defense, 73.7% good quarterback rating. The Giants 62.1. The Bills 74.5. But the Bills defense is not great.
I mean, they have no offensive line.
Seahawks rocked them.
Yeah, they have no offensive line. Kamara's like damn near wash. They have a top 5 potential wide receiver on their team. Raheem Shaheed is not a bad guy either. Same with Miller. Miller's also a really good secondary piece. Yeah.
Juwan Johnson, the tight end.
Like, they have a good offense, and I think it's decent. I think their defense is just horrible. Like, outside of, I mean, bro, they have a 2nd overall pick on defensive line, and he sucks. Now with what's his name? He was at the Commanders, and they traded him.
Deron Payne?
Nope, it's the guy from Ohio State.
Oh, Chase Young.
Yeah, Chase Young. What a bum. Him, like,
one of the great busts of the last 5-6 years.
Great rookie season, but hasn't been the same since.
Actually, it might be longer than 5-6 years. I think he came out in like 2019.
Same year Joe Burrow did.
Oh, 2020.
But the Saints they're in cap hell, and on top of that, their defense is not that good. But the one positive I'd say for the Bears is that you won without passing the ball. I think that is a very good
Took some pressure off of Kaleb, yep.
Yeah, because especially like the way that they matriculated the ball with both their running backs. It wasn't just Swift. It was also their rookie. A little bit upset if you're Rome Odunze fans, especially in fantasy. Like, he had a really hot start to the season. Now 2 games in a row, it's under 50 yards receiving. But the other positive notes for the Bears, the use of their tight ends, both of them are being used, Kmet and Loveland. Luther Burden has emerged as another guy too, as well, to look out for. I think if you just make the offensive line more consistent, so that way Caleb Williams isn't playing hero ball every time he takes a snap, you have a legitimate shot to be the 2nd best team in that division. You have set yourself up well. I mean, I may be an elite or an above average cornerback on that team also. You have Byard, right? Kevin Byard, who used to play for the Titans. I believe that is their safety number 31. He's really good still.
He's been a stud for a while, yeah.
Oh yeah, so he has like maybe 2 to 3 seasons of maybe that play, but they do not have a good overall defensive backfield.
I like Tyler Gordon coming out of college, their 2022 2nd-round pick.
But
they obviously have Jalen Johnson still, I believe, who I think is hurt right now, but
But still, I think, like, if you get that like Pro Bowl level corner for them, like, I like their front 7. Obviously, I really do. I mean, you have Tremaine Edmonds there. You have Montez Sweat that you traded for and signed that contract to. Like, they have a really good front 7. This is the back 4 I just concerned about for the Bears, because especially in that division, you have Justin Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison, you now have Amon St. Ra, like, and then you have, oh my God, the tight end for the Lions. You also have
Laporta.
Jameson. You have Laporta. I mean, Gibbs as well, too, as a threat from the backfield. Then you go to the Packers. Packers don't really have anybody like outside of, I mean, to me, their best receiving like player on that team is Josh Jacobs. But like Jordan, like, don't get it twisted. He can still dice you up over there. But I think that if you have a good defensive backfield, especially when you're going against guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, and as well as Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, you're going to need somebody to cover at least one of those guys per game. But I think a solid win for the Bears, the fact that they were able to rush the ball and not having to throw it, what was it? Caleb Williams throw it 40 times a game. And for them to win in that fashion, it's really good for the Bears going forward.
All right, let's take it to Cleveland, where the Miami Dolphins played the Browns and absolutely got boat raced. 31-6, your final out in Cleveland. Quinshon Judkins, 25 carries, 84 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Dylan Gabriel, 13 of 18, 116. Tua Tagovailoa throws 3 picks, gets benched for not Zach Wilson, gets benched for Quinn Ewers. Devon Achane, 82 yards. Yeah, the Dolphins, as we've said a lot of times, they're a shit show. But what do you take out of this game?
Oh, McDaniel should not coach a game anymore this season. There's no way. Jalen Waddle has literally been non-existent this season.
Yep.
Literally MIA in Miami. Their run game has been horrendous. I mean, Achane has stepped up, but like, dude, this team has for the offensive guru that he is, he ain't got no offense at all. Their defense is playing uninspired completely. And they also have no leadership on this team. I mean, remember the whole we're having player only meetings and players are showing up late.
Yep.
Listen, player only meetings already is a telltale sign that your team sucks. When your quarterback, who has a C on his chest, is out here throwing players under the bus, that is a huge concern. Like, completely. And also when you lose to the Browns, like, that's already that. Come on, it doesn't get any worse than that. But for the Brown side of things, I mean, Judkins has like absolutely looked like a stud ever since he had
Nick Chubb 2.0.
Yeah. He's been so good. I mean, that offense is like, he is their only weapon. I mean, Jerry Jeudy at times has shown up. I mean, same with Njoku, but like, they are just going to run the ball and just pin the ears back and come after you, like, fully. I think
that team could use a real quarterback, and they could use a real receiver or offensive weapon. They got a guy of the caliber of Tyler Warren, and then got like a decent quarterback. Like they'd be a fully functional offense. But
seriously,
there's no passing game to really respect.
But yeah, like Judkins has been absolutely a stud so far this season. And Miami, I think it's get rid of the coach, get rid of the GM, and blow this team up. Seriously,
get rid of the quarterback, trade Waddle.
Seriously, like you have all these pieces. Like Waddle may be a dude that you keep, but like outside of him, like everybody can go. Everybody can go. You need to blow this team up, get a new identity, and also, like find out what you have in Quinn Ewers or in Zach Wilson. Find out.
It's probably going to be Quinn Ewers if anything suggests the movement they made today.
Oh, yeah. And find out which one of them are either going to stay with this team next season to be a backup or compete for the starting job. And find out what is going on moving forward. You cannot continue with Tua, I think. I think it's a wrap for him. His
3 picks against the Browns, not ideal.
His demeanor has been piss poor. His leadership has been non-existent. And the fact that his I'm okay with dealing maybe one of the two if at least your performance is good. And the fact that he sucks ass on the field, I'm just done with it. Absolutely done with it.
Yeah, not too much to say about this game. The Dolphins suck. They're going to be competing for a top 5 pick, as we said in the preseason. The Browns just kind of browning it up, making it ugly, and beating up on bad teams, and then they'll get smoked by good teams.
Playing themselves out of a good pick too.
Yeah, they usually do that. Okay, so let me write down the timestamp there, 45. All right. So Gerardo, I told you last time we spoke that the Kansas City Chiefs aren't gone by any means. They're not done. They're gonna win games. You picked the Raiders this week. You got to eat a little bit of crow. The Raiders lose 31-0. I believe it's 31-0. Yep. Patrick Mahomes 26 of 35, 286, 3 touchdowns. Geno Smith 67 yards.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Ashton Genty 21 yards.
We did lose Max Crosby in like the first quarter.
Oh, really?
Yep, he went out with
Rashee Rice in his comeback game, 7 catches, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not bad.
Great for a felon.
Yep. Chris Jones had a half decent day, got a sack. But yeah, this was just total domination by the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Raiders have just. I think Geno Smith has really been proven to be a fraud.
Remember when they said that Darnold to Geno was a lateral move at best? We don't got to eat crow on that one, Gerardo. We're right on that.
Yeah, I'm a big Sam Darnold guy. I mean, if Sam Darnold played for the Vikings today, they would have beat the Eagles. But
that's neither here nor there.
I think, with the Raiders is absolutely done for. Seriously, just it is what it is. Geno's on a team-friendly contract. I mean, there's already a futures bet that said how many seasons as he's the starter. It was 1.5. I don't even think he makes it by the end of this year. Genty was non-existent. And the big concern for the Raiders, which is funny because we used to have a player before we traded him away, is we have no weapons on wide receiver. We don't.
Jacoby Myers and friends.
Not even Jacoby Meyer. Like the fact
Trey Tucker and friends.
Exactly.
And Brock Bowers has been hurt, so we'll give you some slack there.
If even Brock Bowers was playing, what the fuck am I like? What is the offense going to do?
The one today.
Exactly. Like it's that the defense, the back, they have like decent-ish pieces. They just can't be all put together. I mean, it's just bad all around. And offensive line has just been horrible. You're not going to run the ball well if you don't have a good running offensive line. Neither.
True.
So
yeah, it's just a complete mess. But the Chiefs' offense fully functional.
Yeah, but it's also like when you're looking at a game like this, right? Is how bad are the Raiders or how good are the Chiefs?
I don't think the Chiefs are like world beaters by any means, but
this game didn't. This game said, okay, they're a playoff team, but are they a Super Bowl team? No,
they're still fully functional.
Mm-hmm.
When there were worries that the offense couldn't get out of its own way, they got Rashee Rice back. It opens the field up for everybody else, and they took advantage of it. Mahomes looked like pretty much his self from last year and the year before. If in a down year he'd be an MVP shoo-in, but it's not a down year. I think that those odds on DraftKings we talked about pre-show, he's the favorite at 125. Those are probably going to shift over the next couple of weeks for Baker, Allen getting his stuff together, Drake May suddenly in the top 4. Like those odds are going to shift a little, and especially if the Chiefs like lose games. But I think the Chiefs are just fine. Like they're going to be as competitive as they were. They're going to probably be a wild card team unless the Broncos blow it. But yeah, I nothing really changes my opinion on the Chiefs. I've always thought that they were fine. Once they get Rashee Rice back, it's going to really open the game for them, and it did. And they took well advantage over a rival that usually plays them hard, but not this go round.
No, yeah,
it's been rare that I see a level of quit in the Raiders against the Chiefs like I saw there.
Yeah, it'd be a hot minute before. Yeah, and I mean Pete Carroll's the oldest coach in the NFL, man. It's starting to show.
I'm sure he'd be better at UNC than Belichick right now.
Well, yeah, he was actually a good coach in college. That's why.
Did you see the end of that game? Oh, Cal and UNC. It was brutal. Okay, next game. The Eagles head to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Still no JJ McCarthy. He was a limited participant in practice. All signs indicate that he's going to be back sooner rather than later. But didn't help them today. The Eagles win 28-22. Jalen Hurts, 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, a damn near perfect passer rating. Saquon Barkley still can't figure it out on the ground, but Devontae Smith have a game, 9 catches, 183 yards, and a score. AJ Brown have a game, 4 catches, 121 yards, 2 scores. Carson Wentz, 2 picks. Jordan Mason with a touchdown. The Eagles passing offense finally start together, but I'm still not letting them off the hook. What is going on with this run game?
What the thing is it's still predictable, right? That's like the Dan Orlovsky thing is still true. They're still hella predictable. The only thing is that when you have a former Heisman winning wide receiver and a top 5 wide receiver on your team, you are going to out Jimmy and John people. You're supposed to. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. It's very rare that there's any defense in the league that can contain that offensive firepower, in the passing game. Same with Dallas Goedert. Like that, he's a top half starting tight end in this league.
I'd probably bet your top 10.
Yeah. So with that being said, like the Vikings back 7 isn't going to be able to contain one of those guys, let alone 2. So it doesn't surprise me, but like I'm with you. It's still hella predictable offense. Where is this Saquon Barkley? Like, he's literally non-existent at all. And Tank Bigsby finally got some carries for that trade that they made early on this season. And
he got 1 carry for 11 yards.
Yeah. And then I just think this offense is so hella predictable still. This is not really necessarily a good win for the Eagles. And granted, all their wins have never been good this year.
No, but they're 5-2, and they beat up on a Vikings team that's respectable on defense. Mm-hmm. Brian Flores, obviously, probably the best defensive coordinator in the league. Well, him and Steve Sarkisian, but that's who it is, right? Steve Sarkisian for the Chiefs.
That would be the head coach for the University of Texas.
Who am I thinking of? Spags, Steve Spagnuolo. God, all-time fumble by me.
That's okay.
The comments, oh, this guy doesn't know football. He messed up Steve Sarkisian and Steve Spagnuolo. Shut up. But the Eagles are all of a sudden an air raid offense. Like,
yeah, they just don't know what flavor of ice cream they want to be. They have too many weapons for their own good. Like, and then they're super predictable with them too. Like, oh, today we're gonna feed Devontae Smith the ball. So guess what you probably should do on defense? Cover him.
Jordan Addison had a day though.
He did, yes. Carson Wentz his favorite wide receiver. Well, he likes both of them, to be fair. But Addison has looked really, really nice with the Vikings.
Yeah, they just need a quarterback in there. And listen, JJ McCarthy had 1 good game against bad defense. He had 1 bad game against a pretty mediocre defense, and we haven't seen him since. I'm not sure when he would be back. They got the Chargers on Thursday night. I can't imagine that's the game they get him back.
But also, too, in the games that Carson played, what's the difference between him and JJ?
JJ's much safer with the football.
Yeah, but are they winning games?
They're 1-1. The Vikings now are 3-3. So
I'll tell you what, though, they had Sam Darnold. It'd be a different story, my friend.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Vikings fans don't like to hear it.
Yeah,
but it's true. Like, Sam Darnold with this team is solid.
Yeah, if you think JSN is sick, wait. Okay. Can you imagine if Sam Darnold had Justin Jefferson and what those two look like together?
And I get the Vikings have been hurt this year on offensive line. Like, that's going to happen. There's a lot of injury bugs going around that building.
Okay, but the same thing. Tell that to the Chargers who lost another tackle this game. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens when JJ comes back. We'll see if it gets any better. Of course, they're going to say it's too early to judge. It's a what have you done for me lately league.
Yeah,
hate to break it to you, but yeah, Eagles win. They go to 5-2. Vikings 3-3. Probably not a playoff team at this point, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, next game. The trash bowl of the week. The Carolina Panthers at the New York Jets.
How fast can we get through this game? The 2 running back system just didn't work really for Carolina this game. I think you just need to commit to one because they're kind of the same player. Huh?
It's Rico Dowdle you have to commit to.
Yeah, I just don't understand the whole why even using Chuba as much as they did this game. Like,
yep, and Bryce Young obviously leaves the game with an injured ankle. Was not having a superb day by any means. 15 of 25, 138 and a touchdown.
so he had a Bryce Young game.
Pretty mediocre.
Yeah, Bryce Young, as weird as these, it's so funny because the win column, right, looks nice, but like his stats have been ass.
Yeah, he's not very good.
He's just not a good. So imagine if they had a quarterback there. Well, I mean, they had two at one time and they got rid of them
because they can't coach.
Because
Xavier Legette had a game though.
He did, yes. Like Xavier Legette outperformed Tetaroa. I thought was very underwhelming this game, as well as he had a nice hot start.
But he probably had Sauce Gardner trailing him all game.
Well, Sauce Gardner left the game. He got injured this game as well too. So the Jets are continuing to be the Jets. And the main talking point, Justin Fields got benched.
6 for 12, 46 yards, 22 yards on the ground. Got benched. Tyrod Taylor comes in. Not much better. 10 for 22, 126 yards, 2 picks.
And let's just say the benching was not made when the game was out of hand. No, the game was still very much.
The game ended 13-6, folks.
Exactly. And he got benched when it was 13-6. Justin Fields' career is done.
Was he hurt? Like, no. Is that a story?
No. This game is done. He's not a starter in this league. He straight up isn't a starter in this league.
Yeah, neither is Bryce Young.
He ain't a good winning starting quarterback. He could be you know what? I'm going to agree with you on that.
He's a safe backup. I think he'd be a fine backup.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you put him in San Francisco, like, is there a really big difference between Mac Jones and Bryce Young? I don't think so. Besides size.
Maybe he probably can back up like Ward. Or maybe go to Houston, back up like CJ Stroud.
Like, I think Bryce Young belongs in the NFL. Just not as a number one overall pick.
He's not even a quarterback that will take you to the playoffs.
No. You can get him in a spot like when the Bengals lose Joe Burrow, like, and you put him in there, he can do stuff, but he's not your savior. And the Panthers blew another number one overall pick.
Yeah. Which they traded up for and then gave the Bears a number one overall pick the next year.
Got him an even better quarterback.
Yes. Seriously.
Can you imagine Caleb Williams and Tet?
So, like, the Panthers is what they traded with the Bears. So the Bears had the number one overall pick that year originally?
Yes, in the Bryce Young draft, the Bears traded the number one overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft to the Panthers, remember, for DJ Moore, to drop down to 9, get the 61 overall, they get the number 61 pick in 23, get the number 1 pick in 2024 that ended up being, and the 2025 second.
So, I mean, like, what was the Bears going to do with the number 1 overall pick? Because, right, they had Justin Fields at the time still on the roster, and who
was like the big not quarterback talent in 2023.
So what, you had Bryce Young, you had CJ Stroud. What, you were going to get Will Anderson at number 1 overall?
Devon Witherspoon?
No, that
Bijan?
Possibly.
Bijan number 1's gross though.
I mean, yes, it would have been, but ultimately, what, you would have gotten Will Anderson?
Yeah, there was no consensus. It was going to be Will Anderson or Devon Witherspoon, or even maybe Paris Johnson.
Paris Johnson would have been too bad, but I don't see him. I mean, because he's a good player now, but even back then that was a reach because they were drafting that for Kyler Murray. But regardless, I mean, like, it worked out for the Bears ultimately, and the Panthers. I mean, like, if they stay put at 9, like, what were they going to? They probably, the funny part is, even with that trade, they're probably a worse team still.
Yeah, the next quarterback to go after that was Will Levis at pick 33. So,
yeah, F that. Either way,
who actually went at 9 was Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Because Chicago traded that pick to the Eagles.
How stupid. Yeah, Chicago should have kept him. I mean, stayed there and drafted Jalen Carter. That'd have been sick. And then
the Bears traded down again to give the Steelers Joey Porter Jr.
So at every pick, except for the number 1 overall pick, the Bears have made the wrong decision every time in that draft.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who like their first pick was.
Yeah, because if they would have just drafted Jalen Carter, that'd have been sick.
Oh, the Eagles acquired the 10th pick from New Orleans and then moved up. So the Bears picked Darnell Wright.
Mm-hmm. Whatever.
We got into a little bit of draft talk. Sorry, folks.
No, it's okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, yes, like you said, I mean, Bryce Young is just not a starting quarterback in this league. He's a serviceable guy.
Yep.
Serviceable.
All right. The New England Patriots headed to Nashville this weekend. Mike Vrabel taking on his former team. The new look Titans, new head coach Voodoo, Mike McCoy.
And they were up 10-3. They were up 10-3 early on. They were. And I was like, oh, wait.
And then in came the fighting Mike Vrabels.
Yeah. And then Mike Vrabel said, I'm not fucking losing to this poverty franchise.
No, he stopped screwing around. And
Drake May only had
win. Sorry, it's taking me a minute.
31. Was it 31-13?
31-13. Drake May, 21 of 23, breaks the Patriots record for completion percentage in a single game, previously held by one Tom Brady. 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson, have yourself a game. 18 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 7 for 69. Very nice. Kayshon Boutte, 2 for 55, and an awesome touchdown catch. Cam Ward, obviously not awesome. 25 of 34, 255, touchdown and a pick. No run game to speak of for Tennessee. But this was just Patriots annihilation.
It was. And I mean, like, Drake May solidifying himself as a top 5, top 10 quarterback in this league. I've always been a fan of his accuracy. He's always consistent to throw for over like 220 almost every game, like without a doubt.
And that's folks, like staple of Josh McDaniels. Don't do too much.
Folks, he is doing this with below average weapons.
You got a B receiver in Diggs at this point, who could be moved up to a B plus. And then like Kayshon Boutte.
Yeah. Pop Douglas isn't doing much. Hunter Henry doesn't really pop up from that. Ramondre Stevenson has a game or two. I mean, also the backup, man, Henderson isn't really showing up this year, really. But he's also
the Patriots like to take their running back development slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like James White wasn't really James White until like 2016. Right. And he was drafted in 2014. So give him a couple years to really break into it.
Right. But at the end of the day, I mean, like the big positive if you were a Tennessee fan is that Ward actually threw the ball a lot in this game.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the fumble that came
that was weird. That was weird.
But I think the fact that they're airing it out more and playing to his strengths. I think under Brian Callahan, they were not doing that. I think they were being balanced for the sake of being balanced. I think this game, like Ward airing it out, like this is what the offense with Ward should look like. The only problem is that you want to see a receiver core that's worse than the Patriots. Look at the Titans. Like, oh my God, none of these players are going to be in the league like within the next 2 years.
No. LK Manor will stick around. I think he's got a lot of talent.
I don't know, man.
You got to give him some usage. He was popping off early in the season.
He was, but I mean, God almighty, this, like, they need to draft. They need an elite wide receiver on their team.
Jordan Tyson?
That would not be a bad shout.
Cam Ward and Jordan Tyson could be fun. Get him the right coach.
What's it? The guy at USC too is pretty decent.
I'm not super familiar.
But he's right. So far, he's actually ahead of Tyson on the rankings for
really?
draft prospects. Yeah,
I don't know. I got a soft spot for him. We'll talk about college football tomorrow night.
But at the end of the day, I mean, I think Patriots. I mean, they're looking really strong. They're coming off really
5-2, number 2 in the AFC. How far do you think that this could go?
13-4, my prediction.
You said 12-5.
Well, yeah, 12-5.
But last week we did the counter.
Mm-hmm. I truly think that way. I mean, I felt that way entering this season. Once the first 4 games were done with, you can finally look at it. They got their season-defining win in Buffalo, and now
you're beating up on the crap.
I think here's a great way to put it this way. Once you beat that team, what team can you not beat?
True.
Like seriously, like you go into that. Buffalo was like damn near undefeated. Like they were undefeated right at the time when they beat them.
I
That was their
believe
first.
so. Yeah.
Because the Eagles and them lost on the same week, and Buffalo also within a lot of people's power rankings, including ours, were the number one team in the league. Like it was like they were going to cakewalk into the Super Bowl, and the Patriots winning the way they did, especially with a young dumb team. And what I mean by young and dumb is that when you're young, you do not know what adversity really is. You just see ball, win ball, right? Like you're just young and you're just having fun. Like a lot of rookies when they win the Super Bowl, a lot of veteran players rookies are probably the best during playoffs because they don't understand hardship
Yeah.
of how many times it sucked to finally win.
No, it took
Like
Tom Brady 4 years to figure out what a loss in the playoffs was like.
yeah, but I mean like that was the thing for like these young guys is like, oh, we just beat the Bills. We could beat anybody. Fuck this. I don't
So they
care.
played around with New Orleans, kind
Mm-hmm.
of taught like, oh, you can almost lose this one, and
Yeah.
they got this. They got the ship right.
I think yeah, it's a team that understands how talented they are now. I think earlier on and including last year, they were still kind of like, oh, I do not know how talented I really am. I don't know if I can hang in this league.
Bad coaching staff last year.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, it was just like, bro, we can. And Mike Vrabel, he's probably saying exactly what I'm saying. It's just,
Dialed in.
yeah,
Have you seen the clips after the game in that locker room? Like they love Mike Vrabel. They love that
who
guy.
doesn't? Like seriously, who doesn't? That is probably the best head coach right now in the NFL.
Amy Adams shrunk apparently.
Like this is like I said, this is a team that's unbelievably dangerous. And mind you, like I guess I understand that they've been shutting down those rumors for AJ Brown, but bro, go get him. Go reunite him with Mike Vrabel. Hell, go get Derrick Henry and reunite him with Mike Vrabel. Like, just make it what the Titans were previously. Like,
Think the Raiders will take a call on Brock Bowers?
no, I think that's the one. Him and the trades that I think that are going to happen. Brees Hall, Max Crosby. I'm still a big believer that AJ Brown. I think nobody has said we're going to give you a first round pick. I think that's the issue.
The Patriots should.
I think if a team straight up just starts a conversation, hey, first round pick for AJ Brown, they're going to be like,
we can start there. Yeah.
Where I think too many teams are like, how about a third?
The second and a third. How about some conditionals?
Yeah, see, they're doing that. No, F that. If you want to win now, put your money where your mouth is. You don't need the 32 pick.
He's under contract already. Like, you're good.
You're not gonna get a diva who's gonna talk about money. You're getting a diva who just wants the ball. So, yeah, I think the Patriots they're seriously starting to become a Super Bowl contending team, like a legitimate one.
I think I want to see one more great win, because right now they're beating up on the crap of their schedule. They had the Saints last week, who suck. The Titans this week, who suck. They had the Browns, I believe, next week, who suck. And I thought the Falcons after that, who suck. I want to make sure that's true before the Browns, the Falcons, next two games. And then you have at Buccaneers.
Now we're getting into people that are within the same realm as you.
And maybe even a little better.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can lose competitively even in that game, I'm like, okay. All right. You got something. But
right.
Yeah, that's the Patriots and Titans. Obviously we feel pretty good about that squad. And we'll be watching them very closely going forward. Some for bias reasons, some for just the love of the game. All right. Packers at Arizona. Weirdly close game. The Packers win 27-23. They improved to 4-1-1. The Cardinals dropped to 2-5. But this was a competitive game. A very competitive game. Jordan Love, 179 yards and a score. Josh Jacobs, 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. Raiders could use a guy like that. Tucker Kraft, 5 catches for 58 yards and a score. But the story of this game, I really believe, is Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, it's
25 of 36, 279, and 2 touchdowns. Trey McBride, 10 for 74, catching those 2 touchdowns. This was a back and forth game.
Yeah, the fact that if I were to tell you in the beginning of the season that the Cardinals are more competitive with Jacoby Brissett than they are with Kyler Murray, you'd laugh.
Yeah,
And guess
especially
what?
with how rough Jacoby was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he
And
was
now,
bad. I think he got a little disrespected,
you
but
know
he
what?
wasn't terrible.
You know what's so funny about Jacoby Brissett being the quarterback? He is utilizing their weapons on offense. Where Kyler Murray, when he's the quarterback there, you know what the conversation is? They have no weapons on offense.
They have a top 2 tight end in the league.
They have exactly. They have a top 2 tight end in this league. They have a legitimate, decent wide receiver core in this league. The only one who knows how to use, Marvin Williams Jr. is Jacoby
I
Brissett
mean,
somehow.
Marvin Harrison Jr. did not have a great game today. 2 for 58.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's, and then the week before, I mean, he was not decent the week before because he got hurt. But I just,
Splits. No, not splits. Game log. That's what I want. Last week, 2 catches. The week before, 4 catches. 6 6 catches. Like, it's just been not a great year for him. But his big game was against the Titans, who was the quarterback for them. It looks
that
like
was
Kyler
Kyler
Murray.
Murray. Yeah, that was a game that Kyler got hurt in. And but it's just weird that I think Kyler Murray with the Cardinals gets blown out in these 2 games, where Jacoby Brissett has made it a game against the Colts and the Packers now.
It's crazy what just a little bit of ball security and a little bit of maturity does.
Yeah. Remember, Kyler Murray was one of our players that we said this was a career defining
Make
year
or
for
break
him.
year.
And I really think he's breaking his year this year. He's not like he's very much playing himself out of a starting position in this league.
I don't think a starting position. I think a lot of teams would take him.
Yeah.
But not in Arizona. I think
He's not a playoff winning quarterback.
I'm starting to think this coming draft or next year, they're going to be looking very hard at the QB class.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, I mean, the QB class stinks, but it's not looking great. It was supposed to be pretty good, but everybody sucks.
Yeah. I just think that, I mean, in this offseason wouldn't be a thing to explore, a trade option to get rid of him.
Just
seriously,
just struggle it out with
because I think this would be the last offseason you may get a first round pick for him. I think after this year, you're not. You're gonna be eating. You're not gonna get a lot of capital back for him.
No, bad contract, injury history,
And lack of commitment.
And obviously the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals could be a really fun team if they had stability there. And
Seriously.
Jacoby provided a lot of stability, but he just doesn't have that next jump.
No, yeah, he's an above average backup quarterback. Like,
I love Jacoby, but like he's not going to get you over the hump. He's going to keep stable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't have too much to say about that game. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Packers being 4-1 and 1?
Another team that probably could do with AJ Brown. To be quite honest, I think that the Packers' biggest concern is it's still defensive back, which we talked about before, was the fact that they still got a wide receiver playing slot corner, and the fact that they have no true wide receiver and they have no true number one option in the pass catching game. They're very heavily reliant on Josh Jacobs. They are. And I think that if you slow that down, how else are they going to beat you offensively? Wicks? No. Golden? He's a rookie. No. Kraft? Maybe. Dobbs? I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing really, like, you're not afraid of any of those guys.
No.
And you're not game planning outside of Jacobs like that for any of those guys. So I think they're also a team that needs to go out there and look for like a legitimate pass catching threat for them. Like I said, AJ Brown or somebody like that. That would be really sick for them.
I don't see this team competing with the Lions.
No.
I don't think everybody can say, "Oh, week 1," but
yeah, but what have they done since then? The Lions
4-1-1, so they've won games, but
yeah, but
hasn't been impressive.
The Lions have dominated a lot of opponents since then too.
Okay. Which want to give the Packers a second. The Colts took on the Chargers and LAC and come out victorious in kind of a dominating fashion. I believe the score came out a little closer than the story tells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 38-24, but this was kind of a dog walk.
Another 3 touchdown game for what's it, Jonathan Taylor?
Yep, he's the first player in Colts history to have three touchdown games in a season.
Jesus.
Daniel Jones, 23-34, 288, and 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, 37 for 55, 420, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Was also their leading rusher. Again, one of the big red flags we have on the show is when your quarterback is your leading rusher.
Jesus.
Alec Pierce, 5 for 98. Tyler Warren, 4 for 69 in the score. Michael Pittman, 7 for 58 in the score. Rookie tight end Aronde Gadsden II for the Chargers, 7 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 11, 119, and 1 Quentin Johnson, 2 for 30 in a score. Also some crucial drops for him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does this say more about the Colts being really, really good or more about the Chargers being kind of fraudulent?
The Chargers' problem is injuries. It's seriously, I hate to say that as an excuse, but seriously, they have like 5 tackles on injured reserve at this point. And on top of that, they have no running game at all.
Because Dobbins and Hampton
are hurt. Hampton and Harris are gone.
Oh, right. They're not Dobbins. I apologize. Yeah, Harris.
And also, I mean, outside of the Brazil game, I mean, they really don't have wide receivers like that. I am not a Ladd McConkey guy. I'm not. Really? I don't think he's a true number 1 guy. I think he's a slot receiver. He's a seriously concerning, like, if he was a slot receiver and you had, like, I don't know, like you had Justin Jefferson on the other side, yeah, that dude's deadly. But when he's your number 1 option, that's it.
Well, it looks like Keenan Allen is number 1 option right now.
Yeah, seriously.
A little long in the tooth.
But you have no pass catchers like that. You have no running back. And you have no offensive lineman. So it's a recipe for disaster, especially when you have like an elite level quarterback on your team. You know, like who's he going to throw the ball to? And then the Colts, well, they're the most well-rounded team in the league right now. They're absolutely sick. They're absolutely stacked. And all Daniel Jones has to do is, hey, not mess up. And it's really easy for him. He has 1, 2, and 3 first, second, third level pass catchers on his team. He has he has 2 great safety blankets in Tyler Warren and in Pittman. Then on top of that, you have a great run game and you have a top 10 to top 5 offensive line.
And then additional complementary pieces in Josh Downs and Alec Pierce.
Mm-hmm, exactly, which is your third level receiving threat, which is going to be anything 15-yard pluses, right? Like they are legitimate deep threat guys. So they can literally attack you in any which way on offense. And on the fact that Daniel Jones is a rushing quarterback too. Like don't get it twisted. The dude can run for a touchdown score too. So I really think that the Colts are a legitimate, like it's hard for me to crown them as the best team in the league, even though technically they are right by record.
Certainly the hottest team in the league.
But like as you said, we need to talk about the fact that their schedule has been dog shit. So it's not like this is their first good win, and it wasn't even they haven't had a great win yet in this.
Well, you can say the Denver win was a good win, but they, you
got them early in the season, and you got them on a fraudulent penalty.
And the schedule doesn't get any harder, really. So are the Colts Super Bowl contenders?
I would say so. I mean, the Broncos, the Bills, and the Patriots, I think, are the top 4 ones that you'd say. I think that they're in that realm of them and the Broncos. I would like to see that rematch again.
I think wild card weekend, that'd be pretty fun.
And I also think the Broncos, if they game plan ahead, like Sean Payton, I think like he will not make that mistake again. I think that their defense has been clicking very well too. I think they're a really good team.
All right. This was the game of the week on Fox, and it was a blowout. The Commanders go down to Jerry World to take on the Cowboys, and lo and behold, the Cowboys put belt to ass, 44-22. Dak Prescott, 21 of 30, 3 touchdowns. Javonte Williams, 19 carries, 116 yards and a score. Jaden Daniels, 12 of 22, 156 and a touchdown, got hurt. Also had a rushing touchdown. CD Lamb, 5, 110 and a score. Jake Ferguson, 7, 29, 2 scores. The Cowboys, man, like,
it's the elite offense in the league right now. It's not even close, neither.
Especially now they got CD back.
Dude, I mean, they were already sick without him, and they are. I think their offense is like through the roof, like literally number one. The funny part is their defense is literally like 31st or like 32nd.
Yeah, bottom quarter.
The crazy part is if they just needed their defense to be mid, this would be a Super Bowl contending team. Like,
give them the Texans defense, and it's over.
Oh my God! If you give them the Texans defense, this team is undefeated. Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Hell, give them the Browns defense at home. Like, this team is the Cowboys, man. How frustrating is this? Because this is like NFL purgatory, right? Your team is this sick on offense, meaning you can literally beat anybody in this league with that offense. And their kicker is sick too. Like, that is just an underrated weapon on that team, is the fact that
Brandon Aubrey,
like he can hit 61 yarders like they're 20s. This offense is unbelievably sick. It's a Super Bowl contending offense, and it's a number 1 overall pick defense. Like, that's literally what it is. And the only thing I would say about the Commanders is Jaden Daniels' sophomore slump year. It really is.
How much of it is a slump? Because it's injuries.
Yep, that's also right, because most running quarterbacks, like the stat that is, if you are a dual threat quarterback, you tend to have more injuries than pocket present quarterbacks. Like, you put your body on the line a lot more, and that's also what I mean by sophomore slump. He thinks, because of his rookie season, how dynamic he was in the open field, and they weren't accounting to actually how fast he is. Now that defenses are playing QB contained, and they're playing in a defense in which they can figure him out on like when he likes to run. Like, does Jaden Daniels run after seeing the first 2 guys not open, or only after the first 3 guys, or maybe after only one option is open? So all you have to do is, I just need to eliminate at least 1 to 2 options. He runs, I smack him, he gets hurt, he's out the game. So that's what I mean by, like, injuries could be a part of a sophomore slump in that instance, because he was reliant on his dual threat ability on that, because that kind of was like, it's like its own self-contained pass action play, right? The fact that a quarterback can run the ball without having to hand it off. So you have to think about, okay, if he makes 1 2 3 read, he's gone. Or is it 1 read, I'm gone? Is it 1 2 read, I'm out? And once defenses figure out his tendencies, QB contain and just hit the shit out of him. So I think that's the sophomore slump that you are seeing from Jaden Daniels this year.
Yeah, just not a great year for the Commanders. They had higher hopes than this after going to the championship game, but
but what was it? I think Debo didn't play this game. Neither did Terry McLaurin either. I think they were both out.
That'd be correct. Yep, their leading receiver was Jalen Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie Chosen also made an appearance in this game.
Yeah.
Oof. Not great. All right. Let us get to our second to last game, probably the game of the week. The New York Giants heading to Denver to take on the Broncos, and the Broncos squeak out alive. Ref ball despite. 33-32. Jackson Dart, 15-33, 283, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Bo Nix, 27 of 50, 279 and 2 scores. Cam Scattaboo, 16 for 60. Tyrone Tracy, vultures the touchdown. Bo Nix, 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Cortland Sutton had a pretty good game. Marvin Mims Jr. had a pretty good game. Dart spread the ball pretty good. Wan'Dale Robinson, 6 for 95. 3 catches for a lot of the tight ends, including Scadaboo, 3 for 34 and a touchdown. The Broncos scored all 33 of their points in the fourth quarter.
Yes. Insane. Like,
so go over this one.
This is it's like there's no real losers in this game, I would say. The Giants entering this game, you would say they were clearly not going to win this game. But the fact that they would look this good against this defense, also in Denver, Maha is hard to win at, man. And for Jackson Dart to play the way that he did with no Malik Neighbors as well too. And he's their franchise quarterback. And even despite this loss, Dabo looks like a good coach for them. Like, you were not seeing this at all with Russell Wilson.
No,
you were not. And Cam Scadaboo too played really well as well in this game against that defense. But ultimately, the big positive from this is games like this shows that you can hang with anybody in this league. Now people are going to say, well, they're the Giants, they're 2-4. Well, the Broncos fought adversity. They easily could have shipped this game off, right? They easily could have been like, bro, all righty, these creatine white boys are just straight up killing us. Like, we can't do nothing about this. Like, Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo, it's all hype. Like, they're on their Linsanity run, right? Like, and I would say this is kind of part of it too, right? Of the Linsanity run. The fact that they're still kind of low-key killing it. They just didn't win. And the Broncos, instead of, hey, it's a tough loss, whatever, the fact that they said, nope, the game is not done yet. Go out there and win. And they went out there and won. Their defense stepped up when it mattered, and their offense literally was performing at clutch plays. Bo Nix was coming into, he had a really slow start this season. You know, he was looking like a sophomore slump, and a lot of people had a lot of concerns for him after the first 4 games. Then all of a sudden, dude, this is a Super Bowl contending team. This is what this game showed me, that even down by that much, they straight up could perform. And give credit where credit's due. Sean Payton, the fact that Courtland Sutton stepped up and made a big catch, the fact that Franklin stepped up, made big plays, Mims stepped up. You know, Dobbins also played an amazing game as well too for them. This is a very good Broncos team. And the fact that the Giants played as well as they did for 3.5 quarters, essentially, because the Giants trailed until the last 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and that last drive was like super fluky too. Like, I don't want to go over that. Like, the refs tried to give them that one, but no big deal. Broncos go and make it happen, because that's what winning teams do.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Like, any other team, right, you would say would have just called it quits by fourth quarter.
A lot of them,
it'd have been like, all right, cool. It is what it is. We're losing to
wasn't our day. Yep.
Where the Broncos were just like, nah, I don't care. We're going out and go get a win. And they stacking up wins like this matter because of playoff position and home field advantage. And if I'm Denver, I definitely want to have home field.
They are the 3rd in the AFC as it stands today, I do believe. Colts are 1st. The New England Patriots are 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get to Sunday Night Football, shall we? The Falcons played the 49ers. And the 49ers come out on top. I believe the final score is 20-10. I'll pull it up again just to be sure. Click on all these tabs and it just opens up several other tabs. Yep, 20-10 was your final. Michael Penix Jr., 21-38, 241, a touchdown. Really rough in the fourth quarter. Mac Jones, not his best day, 17-26, 152 and a pick. Christian McCaffrey, this was his welcome back game. 24 carries, 129 yards, and 2 scores. Also a threat in the air, 7 catches, 72 yards. Darnell Mooney, 3 for 68. Kyle Pitts, 7 for 62. Bijan Robinson, 6 for 52 and a score. Although on the ground, couldn't quite get much going. Niners move up to 5-2. Falcons dropped to 3-3. Where do you want to start?
Well, Mac Jones is the starter going forward. Even though he usually likes to air it out a lot. I mean, like, he usually has like 270 yards passing. And Kendrick Bourne, like, usually is like a top 5 wide receiver when he starts. But George Kittle also not much effective in this game for his return.
Looks like he was trying to get his legs under him again.
Yeah, it was kind of like they were just using him as a blocking tight end. But at the same time, when you're running the ball as effective as the 49ers are, why in the world waste time passing the ball? For the Falcons, me and you were watching the fourth quarter.
The
like
last 2 minutes there. Yep.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes of that game. Bro, Penix, God almighty, that hand injury really screwed him over. Like on that fumble.
Could not complete a pass.
Literally, it was either he was underthrowing people or overthrowing them. And that means he didn't have feeling in his hand, which I'm assuming because he hit his hand on a helmet.
On that fumble, yeah.
On that, yeah, which then got overturned to an incompletion. But like it was just not good. It was just not good. And for the Falcons moving forward, me and you had that conversation is, how do you feel about Michael Penix? Like, is he a quarterback taking you to the Super Bowl?
No. I think he's going to be hanging around. Like, I know me and you like him a lot. Like Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. Like, if he's going to, he needs a ton of help. Coaching staff, defense, offensive line. In a perfect spot, maybe. But it's just, I think he's kind of capping out as a middle of the pack. Could do better, could be a lot worse kind of guy.
Like, he could have, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he had like 2 to 3 Pro Bowl selections in his career. But outside of that, he will never make an all-pro list. He will never be arguably a top 10 wide quarterback. Maybe once in his career. You know what I mean?
The fluky Joe Flacco year, yeah.
I mean, Matt Schaub has done that when he was with the Texans at one point. But ultimately, this is how I feel about certain teams going forward, right? Do you believe that this quarterback could win you a Super Bowl within his timeline of him being developed and nurtured under your system?
Not really.
If your answer is no, that means go draft a quarterback that can. I've always felt that way. Why are you wasting time with a quarterback that can't win you a Super Bowl? And I mean, like, I've seen Trent Dilfer win a Super Bowl. I have seen, like, Joe Flacco have a legendary one to win a Super Bowl.
Matt Ryan has come close.
Matt Ryan has come close. Like, we have seen, like, I mean, hell, don't get started on the Broncos and when they had Brock Osweiler and Peyton Manning.
Hey, ASU legend Brock Osweiler, get it right.
Where, like, they were both not even the top 32 ranked quarterbacks. I think Brock Osweiler was 35, Peyton was 38 in the league. And they won a Super Bowl with both of them. And when you just look at Penix, I'm just like, okay, if you don't think he can win you a Super Bowl, then why are you here? Why, like, what is the point of all this? Because now you're just riding along mediocrity. You're going to be 8-9, 9-8, maybe at best. Maybe you get a 10-6 season if it all clicks. But Baker ain't going nowhere in the division. They found themselves the replacement to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin instantly. On top of that, the NFC as a whole, I mean, like, Cowboys are hanging around. The Eagles are still the Eagles. You know, they're still 5-2.
Giants are coming.
The Giants are coming. Don't even get started on the NFC North. The fact that you have the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers, and even the Vikings are still relatively relevant within a
NFC
playoff.
West, everybody but the Cardinals.
Exactly. Everybody but the Cardinals. So where do you lie, Falcons? Like, don't they have the same record as the Panthers at this point?
Or the Falcons already had a bye, so they're 3-3, and the Panthers are 4-3.
Okay, so, but you see what I'm
saying? Virtually
like,
the same record.
Literally the same team, right? Both with quarterbacks that ain't going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon.
I think Penix is a starter. I don't think Bryce Young's a starter.
Yeah. But, I mean, both not Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. That's my point. So, what do you do? Because obviously you use draft capital on him. It's only his year. And, like, he came in, halfway through the year last year?
Yep. A little later than that.
And you kind of evaluate him by the end of this year. And once you come to that, I'm not saying instantly move on from him, but highly consider your options in the landscape of the NFC, what you want to do. because I truly think that he's just not a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
As for the 49ers, 5-2.
Super solid team, man. I mean, you got to start Mac Jones. You got to.
Until the hot hand goes out.
Which is going to be the Super Bowl for them, probably.
But I don't know about that. A lot of tough games in that division.
Lot. But, I mean, with Mac Jones, they look like a true winners, man. Seriously. He balances out that offense much better than Brock Purdy does. Seriously. He understands the assignment every game. If Kyle Shanahan says, hey, this is the keys of victory, this is what we're doing, that's literally what he will do. So, I mean, they are a Super Bowl contending team. They really are.
5-2, man. Is that the head of their division at 5-2?
Yes, I believe so.
Niners.
Well, them and the Rams, right? Them and the Rams are tied.
Stand by. Division. The Niners are 5-2. The Rams are 5-2. The Niners have the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm. And then Seahawks with their game, they need a game.
Yeah, they're 4-2. So they already had their bye, so that'll do it. Or no, because they have Monday night.
Yeah, so they beat the Texans. Can you imagine? There's 3 teams that are 5-2.
The Cardinals are 2-5.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. Well, that's your Sunday slate recap. We're going to be back tomorrow to give your instant reactions to Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thank you all for watching. Gerardo, any message you want to send to the fine people at home before we come back tomorrow?
Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We are kind of working things out to make it that Sunday we do instant reactions because those videos seem to do much better. You guys are participating, viewing those instant reaction videos much better. So once, like I said, we get this rookie season out the way and we plan everything much better, it could go nowhere. We will not have a sophomore slump.
Unlike Jaden Daniels. Thank you all for watching. Hit that like, subscribe button, comment, share. We'll see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the game. Enjoy your Sunday night. We'll see you then.